we'll see. Right, you'll be able to tell me actually if you can see it.
It says on my screen, meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Oh, does it? Ooh. No, it should be on my page. Yeah. Let's see. Is it there? Woohoo! Yay, we're there. Okay, so I'll share this quickly. But just turn it off because I'll hear him there. Or just mute it. Just turn the volume down.
A wall of feedback across Northwich now.
Right. I'll just copy the link into Northwich Life. That'll be fine, won't it? This is so technical. I can't even believe I'm doing it.
Good job you're doing it because I wouldn't stand a chance.
You would. Right, I'm going to post that. It should just post straight away. Admin perks. And I'm going to pin it if it'll let me. Marker's announcement. I have asked permission. I'm not just taking over. Is it? Woohoo! So now I can just talk to the Zoom normally, can't I? I don't have to like go onto the Facebook thing. Is that all good? Okay. Oh, we've all just suddenly gone really quiet and nervous. Has everybody got a glass of wine or a drink or a tea or something to to wet the whistle?
A baby's bottle.
Oh well, I mean, do what you can. Good luck with that one.
Are people going to be heckling in the comments? Is that where the comes from?
Well, I don't know. Last time we got more response after the video, so people saw it afterwards and watched it afterwards. But I'm hoping, having pinned it at the top, that there will be people who can like jib in if they want to. They'll either do it on my page. Let me just turn that right down, or on the Northwich Live page.
But it may not be as lively as a night in the Salty Dog.
No,
It's not very lively at the minute.
How long has the Salty Dog been going now?
4 years in May, but I mean you've got probably for about the last 8 of the last 12 months.
Yeah, because I just left Northwich as you opened because all my friends were going, and I was like literally left, and this cool bar opened, and then Northwich started to get lively again. And I was like, and I obviously just moved back, and then it shut, and I was like, oh my, I've still not been. You did them nights before Christmas, was it, when it was like limited edition tickets?
Yeah, we it's like limited to 30 tickets in, but we did Deja Vega did three gigs in a day, so they literally played. Went on stage, played for 45 minutes, came off for 15 as we just kicked everyone out, cleaned the tables, got the next lot of people in, and they did it 3 times on a bounce.
That's crazy.
They looked like they were going to die afterwards. Really
yeah, I bet. That's good though. It's a good way around doing it. But yeah, still didn't manage to get me tickets for that either.
They sold out in, I think, 5 seconds. They sold out in.
I know. I was like waiting on Twitter. It was like when you were going to a concert. You need to get in there.
I think that's faster than Glastonbury, isn't it?
It is. Salty Dog Northwich. I can't wait for it to reopen. I was going to say if we could all go through shortly and just say a little bit about kind of what we do in Northwich and why we've decided to come on, because obviously not everyone would dare show their face live streaming on these certain pages, but it's nice that some of you have agreed to join me. So yeah, I thought as a little icebreaker, you're all going to be like, oh my God, what is she doing? We would play, Adam's face now is like, we'd play a little get to know you game that the kids play. Like my kids, when I was a teacher, they used to do it, and it was called Put a Finger Down. Have you ever played it?
No.
Right, okay, so let me explain. So you start with 5 fingers, and basically we're gonna see who the most Northwich is. So if you've done what I say, you have to put a finger down. Okay, so there'll be things related. They're not. This is PG because it's still 7 o'clock. So I'm not going to be throwing. Everybody's looking very worried and thinking about what they've done. But no, they're just Northwich things that I was chatting about today, and we were trying to come up with 5 things that we think most people have done, but it'd be interesting to see if anyone hasn't done it and find out like a bit more. So I'm starting with 5. So put a finger down if you were born and raised in Northwich. Well, Leighton Hospital still counts, but okay. So, is that 3 of us? 4 of us. Alison, where were you originally born?
Oh, I went right down south, Plymouth.
Oh, really?
I've moved around a little bit. So I think I'm going to lose this because I've only been in town a few years.
Well, you never know. You might still win.
I was Winsford. Is that like an automatic disqualification?
Oh my gosh. I was going to be like, we need to get him off the call. No, only joking. My sister lives in Winsford, so yeah, it's pretty close. We'll let you off with that.
Yeah, I've got a Winsford friend. It's fine.
What was the next one? Put a finger down if you've ever been on a canal boat. Oh, is it just me that's not been on one? Oh, devastated. Okay, put a finger down if you've ever eaten a Burt Whistles pie. Pretty good. Oh, who's going to go first? Who's got 2 left? 4 of you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Put a finger down if you have walked over the swing bridge. Not driven over it, walked over it. Everyone. Okay. And
how about cycling?
Put a finger down if we'll do one last one. Let me try to think of a good one. Okay, put a finger down if you have ever visited the Northwich cinema. Went to watch something at Northwich Cinema.
The Regal or the Odeon?
Oh, he's got it.
Oh,
The Odeon. Oh yeah, been to the Odeon.
No, it's not the Odeon. I mean the old.
No, it's got to be the Regal.
It's got to be the Regal. Oh, well done. So Adam, Tracy, and Chris Salty Dog are original Northwich, and then me, Chris. Did you put them all down as well?
All down, yeah.
Oh, so me and you, Alison, we've not lived up. Oh, what's my phone?
We're gonna have to play catch up.
I know. Oh, excellent. Well, I didn't know you were you'd only lived here a few years, Alison. Mm-hmm. So I just thought we'd do a quick, it's not like a let's tell each other about everything we do. It's just literally introduce yourself and kind of if you've got a business or if you do something in the community and just want to share, tell people kind of a little bit about you. So Alison, if you wanted to start, because you're obviously the newest member to the Northwich community, tell us a little bit about where you're based and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm helping to coordinate Transition Northwich, which, if anyone's not familiar with, is a grassroots community-led group. And we're working to make positive changes in the town to try to reduce and prevent the climate and ecological emergency. So we're all aware that things are changing and they're changing fast. And we're all understanding that we're going to have to change and the way we live and our town and how we socialize and how we travel and where and how we get our food is going to evolve into a low carbon future. So our group is one of thousands across the world. It's a global movement, and we're really lucky to have a transition group in Northwich because we're doing the work that will make things in the future a little gentler. So we're working with communities to find out how people can connect and be really resilient. We're working with growing spaces. So we've got local food being produced in the town and distributed. And we're working for social justice as well, checking that our communities are well looked after and our decision makers are making the kind of decisions that are going to make the town better and greener.
Oh, amazing. I'd only heard of Transition Northwich from starting this page, to be honest. So how long has it been running for as an organisation, if that's what the right thing to call it?
I think we're coming up to 6 years since it was founded.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But as a grassroots organisation, it's not like we receive lots of funding or we've got paid staff or we've got a publicity budget. It's local people making things better. So we're growing gradually. but in the last year, I'd say the group has grown exponentially.
Yeah.
And I think it's two things. It's people reaching out to their community and thinking, I've really enjoyed this connection, getting to know my neighbours and how important that is and how good that feels. And also the huge awareness that we're all feeling that we want to do things a bit more green. So whether that's sharing things, whether that's kind of reducing our car use in the town, whether we've all enjoyed hearing the birds and kind of want to ensure that we're looking after our wildlife and promoting that. So everyone's learning, and it's in our press. You've only got to listen to the radio and watch the TV.
Yeah.
And it's just great. We can do a bit of it in Northwich.
Yeah. How's everyone else doing with sustainability? How would you rate yourselves as a sustainable human in the community?
Do you know what? For the last 12 months, I found myself being even more aware and like picking up something and thinking, why is this wrapped in plastic? It seems utterly ridiculous. So I feel more conscious of it than ever before.
Yeah, we said that when I lived in Dubai, they didn't really recycle over there. Like, it was really hard. You had to go quite far to recycle. They're still not really doing it. And then I've moved back home, and I'm like I'll just put food in the bin, and my mum was like, "Oh my God, get the food out the bin. We recycle the food." I'm like, oh, I just need to get used to it again. Obviously, it's been a thing in place, and recycling's massive over here now, and you kind of just get used to it, don't you? But obviously, it wasn't for years, and it still isn't in some parts. You have to think, what am I doing? Where am I putting it?
What we could try, we could have a little go. So I did really badly in the last one. I was really rubbish.
Okay.
How about we try that and see who's greenest?
Oh no.
Pop them up.
Okay.
Okay. Drop a finger if you've done grown your own food. Ooh. Been out litter picking in your local area. Ooh.
Years ago.
Use alternative transport to your car for local journeys getting into town, like maybe you walk, you cycle. Done something positive in your community. So that could be volunteering, it could be supporting. Oh, so Tracy, go for that. Brilliant. And
does it include stuff that's a little bit self-serving?
Like what?
Just yeah, no, it doesn't matter. We'll come back to that.
Sounds really good. Okay, we got 2-2. Oh, yeah, it's a close one thing. And drop a finger if you've made a big effort to shop local recently.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Look at that. Adam and Chris will be coming in. Oh, we're a pretty green crew.
Yeah, that was not bad. I feel like I did better than I thought. Leading on then from what you just said about Tracy, Tracy, your time is now. We were chatting over the last couple of weeks because Tracy has finished her row. Finally, you finished. You don't need. Are you still doing it? Are you still doing?
I'm done.
Done. I didn't know if you just carried on going for the fun of it, but I was like,
no, I have been rowing. I've carried it on for my own benefit. Yeah.
Oh, well done. So you were obviously raising money for Northwich floods, which I know a lot of us in here were helping support in different various ways. But Tracy, you rowed how many?
The equivalent of the River Dane and the River Weaver together. So
and you did it in like, it must have been 4 weeks, was it?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Amazing. What was how did you feel once it was done?
I was pretty proud of myself because originally it was Louise Huff's idea.
She signed you up.
Yeah, she inboxed me, and it was a bit of a joke at first, and then a light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, actually, it's not a bad idea. So I thought, what the heck? So let's go for it. Because I said to hubby, oh well, I might just do the weave, and then I thought, don't be such a chicken. Do the full thing, and get on it. So that's what happened. So the equivalent of both rivers is 191,000 rows.
Incredible.
Well
I couldn't have done
Amazing.
it. I think fair play to you.
2 hours rowing a day. So yeah, yeah, it was pretty intense. But
then
I'm glad it's done, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty chuffed with myself for doing it, because I don't know about everybody else, but sometimes in life when you set yourself a goal and you want to do it, sometimes it can come and bite you on the bum and you don't end up finishing it. And I was determined that I wasn't going to let this one beat me. So yeah.
Yeah, you did so well. Well done. And how
I just hope it helped. You know,
Yeah,
it
no,
wasn't
it
all about
definitely
me
did.
doing that. It was about, you know, raising awareness for the flooding, really. Along with the jokey side of Louise saying, well, why don't you do this? So yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they managed to raise I can't remember how much it was off
I
the
think
top of
it's
my head,
nearly
but
10,000 that they've got.
10,000, yeah. And obviously different other businesses are able to raise their own funds as well. So it just kind of shows the community, like, we'll get behind something if, you know, that if they see it, you know, someone needs help. It's quite a nice. I noticed that, and someone said yesterday she'd only been living in Northwich for the last few years, but she's noticed it as a community. She said, you know, people pull together and help each other out. No one's kind of like just in it for themselves, or if this, you know, if someone needs helping, then most of the time people will help you.
Yeah, definitely.
Salty Dog, was that affected, Chris?
We were about that far off it coming in over the floor, so we were really lucky.
Really lucky. Has it ever been affected before? Because obviously Northwich has flooded before, but
it's kind of weird. The building itself's raised up. There's like a void underneath that's about 4 foot, so that fills up entirely with water.
Yeah.
So there's like a little hatch. If you lift the hatch up, there's just water. But luckily we had issues with the electronics last time, so we just got that rewired and put it all above ground. And touch wood, it's been all right since.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has heard anything. There was something came out actually, didn't it? A report came out. Someone posted something on Northwich Life. I don't know if anyone knows more.
Yeah, I think that's the 2019 report that's come out. So
has anyone read it?
I've read it briefly, but not in detail. I think there's going to be some sort of discussion. There's supposed to be a dedicated floods group going to be formed to try and prevent it happening again. But obviously it needs to be gone into a little bit more detail as to why it was so bad. But speaking on what Alison was going on about the climate change thing, we are going to be getting a lot more rain.
I know.
Apparently, so it is a little bit of it is down to us and what we can do to help that.
Yeah.
Because they are saying the amount of rain that fell during that period of time wasn't normal. So, you know, on top of the fact that the drains are really, really bad.
Yeah, that obviously
in town, and they have been for many, many years, for decades. I think the fact that we are getting more rain is something that needs to be looked at. Yeah.
I know that Northwich BID did a lot to help. I just wanted to kind of shout that out while you're here, Adam. Someone said it last week, but you weren't in.
Sorry.
No, I just wanted to just say thank you on behalf of people, because they said, you know, just so you were aware, and the BID team, that everyone, all the shop owners that were affected, were really grateful of how much the Northwich BID had done to support them. And, you know, even Adam himself.
That's my job to do that. But it's a team effort. So the town council, BID, Cheshire West, all the staff that are on the ground just supporting them and helping them. That's what we need. We need people to work together. That's the only way that problem will be fixed, is by different groups working together. And that's the whole point of that group. I can't remember what it stands for. It's FRAG, Flood Report Action Group, I think it is.
Yeah.
That's and Sam Naylor is quite committed to that, and I think he's on that panel. I think he might have had a meeting today or tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. And
I think Sammy posted something yesterday about being in the actual support group, making sure that he was on board with it. So
I think that's what's been really good, actually. Is you've got people like Sam and Adam who they're on the ground. So I went down obviously when the floods happened to see what state we were in. One of the first people I saw was Adam, and then you see Sam, and then you see Chris Shaw from Northwich Town Council, and these are all people who, you know, as soon as something happens, you don't have to wait 2 days for them to turn up when you know the paper's there or whatever to have a photograph. stood looking glum with wellies on in front of a building. They're actually there, you know, on the ground.
Yeah, doing it.
I mean, I briefly read the flood report as well, which was for 18 months we were waiting for the flood report, and I think the points were, oh well, so he talked about it for 18 months, and then said, well, we're going to talk about it more.
Yeah.
And there were some valves that might or might not have been working, and it's like, well, I could have probably told you that on day one, but it's a little bit frustrating. I bumped into Mike Amesbury, the MP for Weaver Vale. I was talking to him, and he said he did an interview for, I don't know if I should be saying this actually publicly, but he said he was doing.
He's coming on next week. It's all right.
Okay, well you can fact check me then.
Yeah.
He said he was stood in Waitrose car park with a representative from another agency that I won't mention just in case I've got it wrong.
Okay.
And this person was saying how proud they were of the flood defences and how well they worked. And in the background there was just a car that was about 3 foot submerged in water while he was telling the camera that the flood defences would work perfectly. And it's like, well, they've kept the river out, but we're still all stood in 4 feet of water. So
yeah. It was a lot of water as well. Like, I only saw the aftermath. I didn't go down there at the time, obviously, just stayed away, but I saw enough of it to know like how that's the worst in my lifetime I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Really bad. When you were saying about it's your job, Adam, I was just talking to Mum today, and I was like, do you know what Northwich BID is? And she was like, no. And I was like, how do people not know? But then I thought, well, I suppose I came back. It's quite relative. How long has it been how long has Northwich been a bid town for now?
Well, first off, the businesses are the ones that it's really important to know about it, because they're the ones that benefit from it and
yeah, definitely
utilise it.
But just recognition for you guys, because you do so much. I think people should know like who you are and what you do.
Yeah. Well, I think bid-wise, so I am new to the team, although I've worked for Groundwork for years, who are the charity behind the BID, the accountable body. It was initiated 7 years ago with a vote. Sorry, my daughter's team.
Oh.
So it was initiated 7 years ago, and I think there was a majority vote. So you have to have over 50% of basically the physical properties and the floor space that's in the town, and then you have to have 50% of the actual businesses in the town say yes or no. So if you have a lot of big retailers that are all no to a bid, then it doesn't happen. If you have a good proportion that are, and independents that are happy, then it goes ahead. And that basically is where each business within the geographical area of the bid pays an additional levy to help fund enhancements to the town. So it's not what the council do. It's above and beyond. We can not backfill the council and do what the council do. It has to be sort of over the top of that. And then about 18 months ago, there was a reballot. So it reballots every 5 years to make sure it's still wanted. And again, there was another yes vote to succeed it. And we're now into bid 2, which is where I've come along and been talking to businesses and engaging with them. And then I'm just going to hopefully pick up where my colleague Jane left off and run with it and make it a success.
Yeah.
But it all relies on the businesses. Don't even hear my daughter in the background.
I can't hear her that much. I can just hear like a tiny little thing.
Right. Well, I'm going to go on mute and then I'll come back because I do want to go through the open green space and just a few ideas on that.
Well, while you go, we'll chat to Chris. Well, he's at the top of my screen. I was going to say Chris at the top, but I don't know if he's at the top of anyone else's. I don't know where he is on your screens. But
I'm here on my screen.
You're there. You're Salty Dog Chris, and then other Chris Railton. Have I said that right? Yeah. So are you, can you tell us a little bit about what you do? I only kind of obviously got introduced to you a couple of days ago. And I was really intrigued to find out a bit more about kind of what you do.
Okay, yeah. So for the last 7 years, I've been a community first responder in Northwich. So what we do is we train by the ambulance service, the Northwest Ambulance Service, and we carry a mobile phone these days. It was a pager when I started. They give us an automatic defib, they give us oxygen and some other medical equipment, and they train us. And then we go about our daily business, we do what we do in the community, just normal life. And then when somebody makes that 999 call for a life-threatening emergency, whether it be something like difficulty breathing or chest pains or a cardiac arrest, we get alerted to it and we get sent to it. And we're all volunteers, so we'll turn up. Because we're community based, when I first started, we didn't always beat the ambulance crews. We were either neck and neck or we were normally behind them. Unfortunately, these days, for want of a better word, we tend to get there first.
Wow.
So we're there first. We do the initial treatment, the intervention, such as getting a defib on someone, which if they are in cardiac arrest, they've got sort of 10 minutes. If we don't get them pads on them within 10 minutes, then unfortunately the chance of a successful outcome is very small. So we need to get the defib to them, and then we need to get some basic life support underway. And hopefully then we can plug the gap and wait for the ambulance crew, the paramedics to turn up and do their amazing work, their sort of interventions and give that.
That's incredible though. They must be so grateful to have you, like, you know, kind of helping them.
We don't often get thanked at the time because, as you can imagine, times are chaotic and we don't turn up and say, I'm Chris, I'm a volunteer. We just turn up and do what needs to be done. So most people, as we walk through the front door, just see us as part of the ambulance service, which is exactly what we are. We're just part of the service. It's just that we're locally based volunteers.
I was just going to say, is it just for Northwich then that you guys respond to?
Yeah, so with the sort of development of the technology, it used to be that you had to give them an address. So you'd give your home address and they'd kind of draw a circle around your home address and you'd only get calls within that sort of circle. But now with modern technology, we're GPS tracked. So we've got about 50 community defibs out in Northwich, Weaverham, all around us. So as we drive around and we check the defibs to make sure they're ready. On the ambulance service computers, they can see where we are. So it might be that I'm in Sandway checking a defibrillator and a call comes in Delamere Park. Normally I wouldn't get sent to it because it was too far away. Because they can now see where I am, that call will come through to me and I'll go to that one.
That's so good, isn't it? It's amazing what technology can do these days. Just out of interest, like how often are you called out, like on a weekly?
It is the variable piece of string, because some shifts you book on and you will just get calls after calls after calls, and then some days you'll book on and you'll be like looking at the phone thinking, is it on? I've had it now for 4 hours and nothing's happened. So on a sort of 6-hour shift, I would say as a rule we get at least 2 or 3 calls, but some days can be more, some days can be less.
Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if anyone else kind of knew that much about it, but I definitely didn't. I was just a bit naive to it, I suppose. But it's amazing to know that that is available to people in town and stuff.
Yeah, we were doing really well. We were raising the profile of the team, and thanks to Radio Northwich, they've given us some real help. And Northwich Town Council, Chris Shaw again, he's been an amazing help. Unfortunately, when COVID hit, all our plans of expansion had to stop because, one, the ambulance service got so overwhelmed initially that all sort of complementary stuff like recruitment and training was paused so that we could put as many clinicians back to the front line. So all of our recruitment has stopped for about 18 months. But fingers crossed, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should be starting again so we can start recruiting new people. Yeah.
Really good. Did we want to... Sorry, Alison, were you going to say something?
I'd like to ask Chris a question because...
Yeah, I was going to say, ask away.
I was going up, so I was up top of Witton Street, just next to Kirsty's Way of the World plastic-free shop and the art shop that's there. And I saw a yellow box on the wall. I'd never seen it before. And I think it might be a new defibrillator, or maybe I never spotted it. But if you're walking up the high street past the library, it's round the corner. And it just made me think, is there a way of signposting these so we know where they are in the town? And this might be something that Adam can help with. So if if I was in Sandyway or Hertford, I could somehow find it really quickly and help if I could.
Yep. So we have looked at doing a potential sort of defibrillator map and putting all the locations where they are. The the only sort of hesitancy we have around it is management of them. So when you ring 999 and say you report an incident which would need a defibrillator, the ambulance service have their system that manages them, so they know which ones are in service, which ones are there, which ones have been used. So they will then say to you, okay, you're outside Northwich Library. If you go to the side of the barbers, you'll see a yellow box. They'll give you the code for the box, and then they'll say, get the defibrillator and bring it back to the patient. When the ambulance crew turn up, they'll take the defibrillator with them. That way then it goes to the hospital, it gets retrieved by one of our team, we restock it, we make sure it's ready to be used again, put it back in the cabinet and make it live again. What we don't want to happen is somebody go across town because they know there's a defibrillator there, get there to find the cabinet's empty because it's been used the previous day or something. So we are looking to map, excuse me, we are looking to map them, but we kind of want to be driven by the ambulance service, and when you make that call, it's for them to direct you to the nearest one.
Chris, do the ambulance service not have their own defibrillator on board? So that they, yeah, so it just makes me question why they would take the one off the wall if there's one in the ambulance.
So if you were walking through the town and somebody collapsed outside the library, as Alison said, you could ring up and the ambulance service will say to you, okay, Tracy, if you go down the road, there's a defibrillator on the wall, get it, bring it back to the patient, and we'll tell you what to do. And
yeah, so you can do it.
Amazing.
Simple.
Yeah.
They're great. You literally put the pads on, they talk to you, they tell you what to do. You can't do any harm using them. So if the patient doesn't need to be shocked, it won't let you shock them. So you get the pads on. The ambulance could be coming some distance. So if they're sort of outside of that 10-minute window, sadly, it's going to be a...
So if the box on the wall has been used, the ambulance service will then take it with them, with the patient, and then, right.
Yeah, the only reason they take it is just to make sure it's restocked and ready to go back again. They obviously they have a much fancier defibrillator with bells and whistles.
Fair. We've just been looking through some of the comments. We've had just a lot of like hellos and highs, and then I think it was on Monica has put there was a map sent by BID to each business. So is she on about a map of the where it is and stuff? I'm guessing.
Defibs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we through.
Oh, right, cool.
So ours is next to NatWest.
Yeah, yours is across the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone put something on Northwich Live about what did it say? Something about your venue for charity, but I don't know who they're talking about. Chris, it says.
What was the question?
It just says,
Chris, how about your venue?
How about your venue for charity?
What, to sell it for charity?
I know.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do quite a lot of. There's a guy called Scott Burstow who is amazing, and he volunteers for Tiny Steps as a fundraiser. So a lot of the sort of the big indie names that we have playing are things that Scott's organised, and they go really, really well. So we've had Bears from Happy Mondays, we've had Clint Boone's been there. We've had Chris Helm from the Seahorses, just a load of great things, and we've done other charity stuff as well. But the one that's really the headline is the work that Scott does, because he sells them out in a matter of minutes. He makes a lot. He got fundraiser of the year actually this year, and he's just an all-round good guy. He does it purely for the love of the music and the charity. So it's great.
Well, let's hope that we can start doing that again. Like obviously, Adam was saying before about this outside space as well that we've hopefully got for a while. I wanted to actually ask a question about that, but Adam, I don't know if you will know the answer. Someone asked me the other day. Obviously, it's being listed as like a temporary outside space, isn't it? And they're kind of putting a lot of money into it. Why is it called the temporary space? What's the story behind it?
This is a question for a counsellor.
I was hoping for some definitive official answers.
I was only out of interest. I'm just like, why? I'm like, is it because it's going to like...
The site's part of the wider Weaver Square development, as was the market that was there before. It's all part of their Weaver Square master plan, which is still being finalised. But at some point, the site may change. It may become something else. There's no guarantees, which is why they've made sure it's a temporary space to make sure people know that it might not be there for forever, and it may change. But the idea is that Weaver Square, the master plan, will incorporate a space like that. And our vision is, over the next few years that we have it, is to absolutely fill it full of events and out dining and people using it, so that when it is redeveloped, whenever that may be, that we can say, right, here's a business case for all the things that we need you to do. We want power, we want water, we want toilets.
Toilets. Everybody wants toilets.
Even my little girl got a bit upset about the toilets then.
Oh no. Yeah, hopefully they do.
It's looking really, really good. I had a peek through the fence yesterday. It looks really good.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, they're working pretty fast. It's supposed to be done in the next few weeks, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, hopefully it should be open after. It's probably going to be after the bank holiday, but it should be open, which will be. Oh, it's exciting. It's got a lot of potential, a lot of work to go in terms of how we get businesses on there and how they use it. But yeah, it's got a lot of potential, and we've got our big canopy for the site is now ordered and ready to be delivered on the 12th of April, funnily enough. But they're going out next week to mark the anchor points so that it doesn't need weights. It'll have weights that are underground, so it'll sort of seamlessly come out of the ground. And that's that perfect structure, because that isn't temporary. That can be taken anywhere. We can pick it up and move it to a different site if we wanted to. It comes with round pegs to put on different green spaces. So yeah, it's exciting, that little space.
Yeah, that'll be good then, because then obviously it's all outdoor as well, and it's that can open first. But for businesses like Chris at the Salty Dog, I don't know if you have much. Do you have outdoor seating at the back?
We've got like we call it the tiki garden. So it's like
oh, I saw that the other day. Yeah. I was really intrigued.
I mean, like gardens, kind of a little bit of a liberty with language. It's a yard that one of our regulars, Mike the Tight Roll, we call him, because he apparently rolls his cigarettes so tight that nobody else can smoke it. He basically came and started doing a bit of a painting, because we had a bit of a scruffy looking wall, and it was when he was furloughed, and he just sort of took it on himself, and he did this whole sort of, it's like a Star Wars themed vaguely mural that goes all around the garden. So he calls it the Siftine Chapel for anyone who's a.
So are you guys opening then when when it's all allowed to open up again for outdoor?
Yeah, the plan is nothing's hard and fast, obviously, but
yeah.
The plan is we're going to probably do Thursday through Sunday, limited hours, and just see how it goes. And if there's an appetite for it and we can do it safely, and there's no issues, then we'll keep doing it. And then gradually, as things lift up, we'll try and get back to as normal as we can.
Because that'd be cool if someone like yourself could use that outdoor space. So, like you were saying, Adam, from businesses in town, if they could have an event on. What are you smiling at? Is that what you? Is this like if I hit a something going on here? You both of your faces were just like.
We were in a Zoom call about 7 hours ago talking about this.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of logistics that come into.
Is it top secret? We're not allowed to know.
It just needs working out. I think it's everything about it's really, really positive. But obviously, with it being a shared space, a community space, public access, council owned, there's about 400 different things to factor in.
Go through.
And everyone wants the same result. Everyone wants a really cool space that people can meet in and relax and enjoy a bit of fresh air.
Can I just ask how that's going to work with the buses being parked outside every 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, air quality wise, I did raise this, and that area has never been raised as a concern for air quality. I think the other positive we've got is that most buses turn off straight away when they stop at the stops now. So they're not the old codgers that sit there brumming away and choking us all out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did raise this as a concern, and air quality apparently in that area has never been a problem. I think we've got the rivers there. I'm not an expert. That made me sound like I know what I'm talking about. The rivers obviously contribute, I think, in some way to the air quality of the area. We've got a tree line in the way. They are planting trees in the area as well. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I think if I did see any buses with their engines on, I'd go over and tell them off happily.
There's a fair space, I think, as well between where the area starts, because you've got the whole car park in between. So I think it's probably a good about 50 yards, I'd say, from the park bit to the bus. But yeah, I mean, I suppose you can't really get away from it in a town centre. But
to be fair, I think many years ago they should have just left the bus stops where they were. I don't think they work where they are, but that's my personal opinion.
I don't even know where they were. Where did they...
I'm showing my age now, Nicole. I'm showing my age.
I only know from
I'm so sorry.
I think that's isn't that, I won't be wrong, isn't that all sort of being consulted on anyway?
Yeah.
In terms of like the actual.
I've heard rumours it's being talked about as well. So.
Yeah, I think that part of the Weaver Square master plan is some form of bus station or redevelopment of that area, which is where I think they're not. Then that's why this space, they're basically taking the floor print and just making it into a green space and not adapting any of the other areas, because that tends to be quite a costly job, and it would then be redeveloped again in the future. So yeah. I think it's a case of they could have probably left it as a building site with hoardings around it, or put it as a green space. There's no real options for it in the short term while they're putting the plan together.
I think it'll be wicked. Go on, Chris.
What will be the capacity of the open space?
Good question. There's also the pre and post COVID capacity as well.
Right.
But I'm sure we could work it out on square meterage and work out what it would be.
I wonder if people will just come out straight away. Like, I'm thinking, I mean, as Northwich as a town, is everyone just going to be like, I'm out, like, get me out? Or are some people going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait? Do you know what I mean? We don't know what it's going to look like, do we?
You might have a passport.
I think we will probably have, especially for bars that open and offer outdoor, you will definitely get a surge initially. The fear is that you don't want it to drop off after a certain amount of time and people to sort of go past it. But I think we've had such a long period of time where we've seen small businesses suffering, that we all want to now shop locally even more, and we just got to keep reaffirming that message, as my daughter rightly agrees. So that's kind of what we're going to make sure we do throughout this year, which is, and Amanda does it amazingly with MadeinNorthwich, which is to constantly reaffirm shop local, and if you keep putting it in someone's head, then they'll hopefully keep doing it.
Well, I think people are doing it a lot more, and the more I speak to people, everyone's like, oh, don't you think that a lot more people are considering it? And I myself never used to really, not that I didn't shop local, but it just never occurred to me. If I wanted something, I'd just quickly look online and buy it on Amazon, or, I'd just order it because out of ease, and I was just used to doing it like that. And then it's not since this happened that I was like, okay, well, people are actually doing things, they're putting it on the Facebooks and they're advertising it, and these things actually look quite a lot better. You're getting better quality stuff, and it's only they only live on the street next to mine, or you're kind of finding out. People are saying, oh, I didn't even know, but they're on the estate opposite, so I just went and picked it up. And that's I love that about it all.
I think the big thing for me when you shop local, I sound like I'm pitching now, but when you shop local, the people you buy from, especially when the small businesses, are experts. And even with your regionals and your nationals, the people in the shop can tell you what's right and what's wrong and what you should get and how you should buy it. And I'm not really doing it justice with the questions that you'd ask, but Where the World's a prime example of if you go in there, she knows every product like the back of her hand, and you can ask her as many questions as you want. And the same with like Super Drug. If you go in there, they're a national retailer, but they know the answers to your questions, and they'll help you and support you, which is, it's not just about indies. It's about using your town. That's the thing. You've got to use your town.
You don't lose it.
I think there's I've certainly, I went to, despite being from Winsford originally, I went to school at Lethwich, and throughout sort of like high school and sort of like further education, there was this, everyone you spoke to of our age just couldn't wait to leave Northwich to go somewhere else. And if you went on holiday, you know, you'd sort of got people away from, you go from the northwest, and like you'd be a little bit sort of
near
cagey
Manchester.
yeah, well, yeah, and but now there's like we've actually got, there's a lot of pride in the town, and there's people getting behind other local people. There's what I'm always really impressed by is the amount of businesses that are willing to support other businesses. There's not this sense of us and them. It's everyone's pulling in the same direction. Everyone's what's good for one person is kind of good for everybody. And you're always going to get people who complain and moan, but they're a minority. They're a very loud minority, and there's quite a lot on Northwich Life that all they want in life is a giant Primark with a Chinese next to it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just a big lazy Susan going from Wetherspoons down to the Bullring.
I definitely don't think
Primark
we need
in the middle.
Primark in Northwich. I'm not a lover of, no.
No, I've got no
disposable clothes, you wear them for 5 minutes and they go into land refill. No, I don't agree with any of that at all.
No,
I shop at Primark. Like,
sorry,
if it was there, no, it's good that people just like.
I'm not saying I've never shopped at Primark because I've got double standards, but I have shopped at Primark a couple of times, but I just don't think that Northwich needs that sort of thing right now.
I get all my daughter's clothes from Primark just because she goes through them really quick. But I agree in principle. In principle,
it's hard because Primark's cheap, isn't it? And I think it's a case of sometimes people would love to buy from these boutique shops that we've got, but they just can't afford to. And then small businesses have to put the prices up because they have loads of other things to pay for. You know what I mean? That it's just them, and they have to pay for the rent, and they have to pay for all this and insurance and da-da-da. So everything is a little bit more expensive.
Things are more expensive because they're selling a quality item.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You get what you pay for, don't you, at the end of the day?
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you're going to buy something from like Bella Boutique, it's probably going to last you a lot longer than if you go to Primark. But I think a lot of people do shop there just because, you know, they can't, the option isn't there. They can't afford to shop at other places, which is unfortunate. But I think if you have got that choice, I agree. I think, you know, get something that's going to last.
And unfortunately, it is cheap for a reason. I really agree with Tracy. It's cheap because we're not paying the full value of that. There are workers down the way who haven't been paid properly,
and haven't been treated correctly either, have they, Alison?
And it's really exciting, isn't it, how communities can think innovatively. So round by me during lockdown, no one could go out shopping. And yet that joy of having something new is something that we all like. So we started a clothes swap. So people who had like lovely, nearly new clothes were saying, I've got this, taking a photo and then giving that to neighbours and maybe asking for something else. So it's just like really lovely sharing, and it's thinking innovatively. And I'm so excited. Like, we've only been chatting for a short time, and the two things we've been talking about are shop local, supporting independent businesses, and volunteering. The spirit in this town is brilliant.
I bought something from a small local business the other day, and obviously to do with my business, and it's something to say thank you to my clients for the support they've given me over lockdown. And the message I got back from the lady who I've used was, thank you so much for your support. The money that you've paid me has bought my daughter's school shoes.
Oh, that's so lovely. It just shows that you like, it's not lining the pockets of some big CEO of a business. It's literally someone else in your town. You're helping them live.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to make this a little bit easier for people, because there is the ongoing thing of like, oh, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to get things. I'll just go to the supermarket and do the one shop, or I'll go online. So we wanted to make it easy. And I know this is some work that Adam's been doing really brilliantly as well. So Transition Northwich have launched a new Facebook page, and it's Shop Independent in Northwich. So what we do is invite customers or shops to go onto the Facebook page and to find a category that suits them, and just put a link to their shop or their service. It's not a review, it's not feedback, it's just literally a directory. And so there, if you need to get an occasions cake, or you want to get a particular gift, or you're looking for something bridal or floral, go to your section and you can see them, and they're listed, and you can contact people, and it makes it easy.
Yeah, that's good. We should try and link something up, because obviously the MadeinNorthwich page that I feel like I've like bored everyone with the last 4 months, but I obviously had a similar idea in mind, was to create this platform just for independents. So that, because people were like, well, I don't know where all these people are. Do you know what I mean? So, and what we're trying to do now is actually show people. So I know, I don't know if you've seen videos. I tried to post them to Northwich Live so more people can kind of see it, and go kind of behind the scenes in there. So we're going down that route now. So we've kind of created this platform a bit like yourselves, but we wanted to show people what it's all about. So like myself, and I've got a little bit of a team together now, which seems a bit weird to have a team of people, but we're trying to show people, you know, what's in the town, you know, the new bars that are opening, the new shops that are opening, but not just in the town either, because obviously you've got a lot going on in the town, but we've also got the villages around the outside that are full of, like Tracy, for example, your shop's not in the town centre, but I think it's just as important that people know that that's only a 5-minute drive out of town, just on the main road. You can spot it, it's pink. Yeah, I saw it the other day. But I think it's really, really important to highlight what we've got in the whole of Northwich as well.
Yes,
so that's the idea behind the pages. But that these pages even exist is just brilliant, because they never existed when, you know, even a couple of years ago, you could never just nip on Facebook like that and search for, you know, a cake from someone locally, or go and watch a video on what's going on the shop in the next village. Like it's cool, isn't it? So every little helps type thing. Oh, we've lost Adam, he's gone. he doesn't agree. He's like, I've had enough. What was I going to say before we wrap up? Chris, did you want to say anything? I know I've heard that you're opening some more salty dogs. I didn't know if you wanted if you wanted to clarify the rumours, or just dismiss them and say that they are rumours. But I wanted to ask you while you were here if there was any truth in it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not in Northwich. It's
no, it's in a different town. But you started here, so it's cool to kind of celebrate that.
Yeah, so there's a big market development in Crewe, which is great. So we're just doing the bar for that. It's going to have entertainment as well, but it's just the old Victorian Market Hall that's opposite the Lyceum. So there's going to be a big food court, a bar, and then traditional market stalls as well. And then they're having entertainment on Friday, Saturday nights. So it's a big, huge project, and we're just kind of the bar for it. And then we've got a planning application in Winsford. So it's on Over Square, opposite Electric Church record shop.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's on the corner where the McCall shop used to be. So it's like a flat roof building. It's got like a weird little brick turret around it in a minute.
Yeah. What did it used to be before then?
It was a McCall's News Egg.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's about 50 yards from my mum and dad's house where I grew up. So.
Oh, so it's like, yeah.
So hopefully, all being well, we'll get planning permission granted and get it all signed off. But it's not guaranteed yet. It's still in the planning stages.
Yeah, everything's like see what happens, isn't it?
I mean, Crewe's scheduled to open on the 19th of May, but we've put half a floor in so far, so we'll have to work a bit quicker.
Oh, well, I hope it can.
Chris, can I just ask Chris, the other Chris, do you reckon that there'll be a defibrillator in the new garden area then, or near there that we might need?
Yeah, there's one on the Now West building, so that's a couple of minutes away. But yeah, I know Chris Shaw and the Rotary are really keen in Northwich, so when we get an opportunity to put one somewhere, they're really good about it. They jump on it and they stick it in. So we're looking at the minute doing a load of phone boxes, you know, the old red phone boxes that disused. A lot of them are now being turned into defibrillator cabinets.
Yeah, there's one up by the Penny Black, isn't there?
That's right.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like it's a picturesque.
It's needing a bit of restoration, though. It's looking a bit sad, but I think it might get transformed for Northwich in Bloom. Something exciting might happen. So I think even these little spaces within our town can always be growing spaces. And we have so much public space that can be utilised, even a back garden of a pub, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got plants. We've got plants. They got a bit flooded, but we're trying to. I've got my dad looking into getting it all repotted.
So are you helping with the garden plans then, Alison?
We'd be really happy to. Yeah, I mean, we had a really exciting year because back in halfway through last year, a local family got in touch, and Rod Inwood, who was an amazing treeman, horticulturist, and resident of Oak Street, he passed away. But he had created a garden. So behind Oak Street, we're just at the top of town by Sainsbury's. Is Rod's secret garden. And this has emerged last year, and Transition Northwich have been asked to care for it and open it to the town. So in the heart of the town, there's a new community garden, and it's beautiful. He's created a 3-part garden. It's fully planted, mature plants, and there's also a food growing vegetable patch. So we're opening that now to the public. So if people want to get in touch with us, and we've got families who are homeschooling, we've got community groups who can come in safely, and we've got a growing team of volunteers who are going there. And it's not just about having to do gardening. It's a place where you can do arts and crafts.
I can't keep a plant alive for more than
I'm hopeless with plants. Absolutely hopeless.
There's the kettle's always on. There's always cake, and it's a beautiful well-being space. It's a very peaceful, very special space. So if people would like to get in touch,
do it behind the scenes there and do a little video of it.
That would be amazing. Because at the moment, having a room to meet in is really hard with COVID. But this is like a church, a sort of village hall without a roof, so community groups can come there and meet safely. So we just want people to know about that space and get in touch with Transition Northwich and start using that. And then hopefully we've got 2 greenhouses. So I think we'll probably have some spare seedlings. We'll bring things down to Chris at Salty Dog, and anyone else who wants to start doing home grow, we can support with that.
We'll have to learn how to do it. That'd be cool. I think we've pretty much covered most things that we've got time for, other than the fact that the post office is open again, and somebody said they wanted us to chat about the fact that the post office, so that's good. The post office in Northwich has reopened.
Yeah, because I heard rumours it was going to close altogether, and I thought, no, you can't. We need a post office in town.
That's the only one, right?
Yeah, unless you can go to the sub post office. You know,
one on Castle.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, there's one in Rugheath, but they're all classed as like the subs, aren't they? So rather than you need a main post office because they have everything. I mean, if you go to the one on Middlewich Road next door to me, then and you want a driving licence form to fill in, you can't get one there. You have to go to the main post office. So we all need a main one, don't we?
The one on Relief is the best one for mailing stuff to America. By the way,
really?
Yeah,
they're just amazing.
You do great sweets as well. I grew up going to that post office.
Yeah,
Liz is my landlady, and she's fabulous.
Yeah. No,
is that next door to you?
Yeah, it's next door to me. Yeah, so it's great because if I've got anything that I need to send, I just open my door, chuck it in, go, see you in a minute.
like when I grew up, people used to call it Popular, but I don't understand where
Popular stores. From. Yeah, that is Popular stores. Yeah, because Liz many years ago used to have another shop in Middlewich, which was also Popular Store. So I
never knew where that came from. Now I do.
Yeah. She's a fabulous lady, Liz. Amazing.
All the post offices are good, by the way. I didn't mean to.
Oh yeah.
Disclaimer: we like all of you.
Boxes are available.
But again, we have to use them because I think the Hertford post office might be under threat. So it's really important. I think as we come out of lockdown, that lots of people have got support. It's been amazing on Facebook, hasn't it, during the floods? But it is really important that we try to put our money into the town. And
that's where the shop local comes in, because they use post offices to obviously send their stuff out. So it
I mean, also, go on, sorry, Alison.
I just think even in the smallest way, it's just even little things. We know that Holland and Barrett, I think, are reopening. Abda Cafe has worked so hard to clean up, and she's going to be reopening. So a coffee or something small, it really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just going to say the elderly generation really, they're the ones that depend on the post office as well. So, I think it would be a tragedy for them to lose a post office in the town centre as well. So we need to, keep it going.
I had a lad who worked for me, and I asked him to go and post a letter, and he took it and he walked off, and he came back about 5 minutes later, and he said, "What? How do I do it?" He was 19 at the time. His name's Sam Butler, if anyone's watching.
I actually think I know who that is. I know who you're talking about.
Bless him.
How do I do it? Oh gosh, I feel better now. I feel better about myself. Usually that's me, but I'm not that bad. Oh, amazing. Okay then, well, I think we've pretty much covered quite a lot of what we were setting out to. It's been so nice to kind of get to know people, and obviously I knew a few of you already, and I don't know if you guys knew each other, but it's always good to kind of get to know people, isn't it, especially from around the town. So yeah, unless anyone else has got anything else they want to tell anyone about, plug yourself.
Can I do a little plug for the summer? I'm sure everyone's like looking forward and thinking what we're going to do, like post lockdown. We'll wait for great music and the pubs to be open again. Transition Northwich are looking to do a climate festival this year, and we'd like to invite groups across the town to think about what they're doing and aspects of climate and biodiversity preservation that they're passionate about, and get involved. Either they might choose to do something creative, they might choose to do something poetic, they might choose to kind of do something in their group, but also we're going to be trying to put on some events. So we're hoping to have some talks, some Q&A, some information, as well as some hands-on practical sessions, so everyone can get involved and find out the simple steps we can take to be more sustainable and make a difference.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. I'm just going to plug myself for literally 30 seconds. I won't bore you all, but I am excited to say that MadeinNorthwich is now turning into a business, a small business. Stop small. And we're just going to, I wanted to keep the page going, really. I just wanted to keep it going, and I was like, how am I going to keep it going? Because it is a full-time job. I didn't realize how busy Instagram can get when you're trying to run a business, and then you connect it to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's absolutely wild. So I've just tried to come up with some services to offer business owners. So if they want a vlog, for example, to show what goes on, I think that's worked really well, and we're hoping to get a few more of them posted out there on our YouTube channel, and I'll post it to Northwich Live to showcase what's going on at these businesses, just in case people are a bit kind of wary to go out at first, and you're not sure what to expect. We want to go there and kind of showcase that. So that's a service we're going to offer to businesses. They can purchase like a vlog, and we'll come with a team of us and do a whole behind the scenes. You can have me in it, or you can tell me to get lost, and I don't have to be in it. I'm just using myself to kind of tell the story of this mission, like yourself, Alison, to encourage people to shop local. So we've got a few more services coming out on they'll be announced on Instagram, that will hopefully again be able to support the small business owners. As coming out of lockdown, the page was set up for free, an initiative while we were in lockdown, but I want to see if I can go that one step further and create services that they will be able to use and utilize to kind of get people back in the door again, mainly advertising and stuff to help showcase it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there just in case any business owners are watching, and just to get in touch via our direct message or email or anything. And that's kind of it, really. If anyone else, are we all good?
Yeah,
just to say that we're sorry. Go on, Chris. Go.
I just can't wait to meet everyone again, because we've all been for like 12 months.
We'll all meet up at the Salty Dog.
Well, yeah. Last Riverboat Festival, I was a drummer on one of the Chinese boats, the dragon boats, and it was just an amazing day, amazing time for the town. And I thought we were just about getting there with the whole of Northwich. Everyone was coming together, having a great time, and then COVID hit and just ruined all that to all the mentally. So I can't wait till we reopen again. We get the Riverboat Festival back, we get the scooter rally back, perhaps we have a pina colada festival.
I would love that. I hope that happens. I really do.
And we just all managed to get everyone back into town, and we can all start mixing again. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
That scooter rally was amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, I went into town with my son, and it was just fantastic. It was heaving, absolutely heaving. It was fab.
Oh, amazing.
I think it's scheduled for the 4th of July, isn't it, this year?
Oh, right, okay.
So it's all being well, because it comes after the restrictions lift. It's outside. I'm not involved in it, but I'm just aware that it should be.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a goer.
Yeah, because we've not got Thunder Sprint anymore, so we need something like Thunder Sprint, sort
Definite.
of, to sort of
Put us back on the map.
absolutely.
We've got a music festival. I say we. My friend Jason, whose wife has the post office on Middlewich Road. He's
that Nicola.
Yeah.
Mickey, yeah.
He's I'm helping him put together a festival. Rare Vitamin Records annual diversion. So we've got a band called Lovely Eggs headlining. This is the 17th of July. There's 10 bands on throughout the day. There's a few rides and stuff. Lovely Eggs had the number one independent album last year. Sorry, they got to number one in the independent album charts, and Louder Than More picked it as the album of the year as well. I've got a band called I Destroy playing, who Beck, the lead singers, has recently moved to Northwich, so we've kind of adopted them. But they've been getting Radio 1 play this week, and we've got 10 bands in total, and it's it'll be a good day in the sun if we can do it.
Can we come and vlog it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That'll be great content.
Chris, are you involved with working with the plaza then to put things in the plaza as well, the building at the top of town?
We've been talking about that. I was in a meeting today actually with Will, who owns the plaza, and he's mega keen to get stuff done. They've got the Fairport conventions playing in October, who are like a sort of folk rock band to anyone who's not aware. I saw them in a cave in Cornwall once, which was really good.
Random.
But yeah, I mean, it's not my sort of thing particularly, but it was very good. But it's Whispering Pines, who are a promotion company based in Middlewich. They're putting that on. But we're talking to Will, and he's really keen to use the space. He wants to get it back up to being a fully licensed place. So we've been kicking around some ideas of how that could work and how it could look. Obviously, everything's a little bit weird at the minute, but we were looking at it pre-lockdown, and we started trying to pull things together now. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we did. I was part of a photo shoot there just before lockdown.
I saw them photos of the couple. Obviously, did they actually get married there?
No, it was just like a pretend couple that we used, but it was just.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but
They looked fab.
Amazing. We did like a sort of deco inspired style shoot there to give people a flavour of what could be possible there, because Will's he wants to sort of promote the building as a bridal, like a wedding venue.
I've never seen inside it. Obviously, it's amazing. I've never been in there.
You've got to go and do a vlog there. Absolutely.
Yes,
incredible.
There's so much in this town. Everyone's like, add another town. I'm like, I can't. There's too much going on in this one.
Yeah. Have you been inside it, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah. I was in there on Monday actually. And
it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing building.
You could put. I mean, once it's fully licensed, you're talking 800, 1,000 capacity.
Yeah.
As it stands, all the events are limited to 500 because of the way that the temporary licensing works. But it's just amazing. I went to the Pete Doherty gig there a couple of years ago, and it was just brilliant. It was really good. Looked great, sounded great. It's built for acoustics as well, because it was
absolutely
before the days of big PAs and everything, when it was a cinema. So the actual natural acoustics of the building are great. It looks great, and it should be. It should be like the focal point of the town for me. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Totally. So yeah.
Oh, watch that space, I guess.
Just a quick plug, I'm back open on the 12th of April.
Woo, woo,
woo. And I can't wait, because I miss my bride so much, and I'm missing helping girls find the dress of the dreams.
There'll be so many weddings, won't there, like backlog?
Well, we hope so, because I think people are still being a little bit cautious over weddings. If you look at all the, all the chat, brides are still a little bit cautious, obviously, because they can't have the numbers that they want.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're probably not going to be 1,000,000% up and running with numbers until sort of back end of 22. Yeah. I know that sounds like it's ages away, but in the bridal industry, it's not far away. So fingers crossed. I've just got to make sure we do lots of groundwork now And
Yeah, definitely.
so that's where you come in, Amanda.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be anywhere. Anybody wants me, I'm there. give me something to do and keep me busy.
Because I'm rubbish at things like that. I mean, this is really like not. I don't normally do this sort of thing, so
and look how much you've like. We talk in the group, don't we? There's a Facebook group, if people didn't know, a business support network on for MadeinNorthwich. If you search MadeinNorthwich Business Support Network, if anybody wants any tips on social media, I just throw whatever I'm learning, because I'm learning every day. Anything that I come across, I just kind of put in that group, and then we all talk about it, and people help each other out. Someone was asking about how to add music to reels on, like TikTok videos. Someone else was asking about how to edit photos in a certain way. So all social media, marketing, advertising, we just kind of support each other in this group, don't we? But going live, for instance, is quite a scary thing to a lot of people, and it is to me. I could feel myself going red at the beginning, and I was like, oh my god. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it. You just have to throw yourself in there and think, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, probably stuff could go wrong, but we've done all right. I think we've done well.
They've done really well, and it's a bit of a shout out, isn't it? It's just like, it's good. It's all the good things that are happening in town as well, isn't it? It's really important for us to let people know.
News.
Can I just ask Chris, Chris CFR, how are you funded, Chris?
So the ambulance service give us our core products, so they give us the defib and the basic equipment, but everything else, such as uniform, training equipment, we fundraise ourselves for and get the money. Last year, just before lockdown, we were donated a vehicle, so we've actually now got our own car for the team as well. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so you'll hopefully start seeing us a bit more around town now, because a few of the members were shielding, so they stood down from responding, and a few of us for various reasons. But the team's getting back out there now. I'm certainly back out working again. So yeah, so hopefully you'll see us, and we'll get fundraisers again. We do we did do a free 2-hour course every second and fourth Thursday of the month at Witten. They used to give us the venue for free. And
like a first aid course?
Yeah, so we teach people how to use a defib. Some will use choking, some use unconscious, serious bleeding.
I'd really like to do that.
Yeah, and we were just full every week. It was great because there were so many people. Because at first we were like, should we do one a month or one every couple of months? And as soon as we started going with them, we were full every week. So it's been really great. And it's nice to be able to do it because the real cherry on the cake is when we turn up at a job and somebody's done everything before we get there. So they've helped the person. And from our training, 2 people that have been on our course have been first on scene at cardiac arrests in the community, and they've used defibrillators on our own people in our own community. So it's good with that feedback that, someone's made a difference and that type of thing. So
definitely. Oh, well, thank you everyone for joining me on this new venture. It's only episode 2. So I think we're going to keep it at this time. It's been a really good time to do it on a Thursday as well. So it's it's not taking up people's Fridays, giving people something to kind of watch and join in with. So I think we'll probably go along with doing it on the 25th of each month if it's what people want to see. And then they can just let us know about things they want to hear an opinion on, etc. We have had a few. Sorry, I have not managed to kind of read as it's I find it hard to multitask. I'm going to have to try and get better at that. There is a few comments on there, so if you guys want to scroll through afterwards, you might want to reply to people, because I haven't been reading them out because I'm an absolutely terrible presenter, it seems. But I will hopefully try and get better.
Is anybody angry about Primark?
Well, yeah, everyone's fuming about Primark. No, I'm joking. They're not. No one's mentioned it. Someone mentioned something about Jackie Weaver. I was like, brilliant. Imagine if you got Jackie Weaver on, that'd be great. Anyway, I'll let you all have a lovely evening, and hopefully get to meet you in the near future, properly in real life.
Meeting the salty dog, as you said.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm 100% up for that. Fab. Cheers, everyone.
In the tiki bar.
In the tiki bar, yeah. Have a great night.
Cheers.
See you.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. how do I stop it?